The, we have for the nightcap of day one, we have one MasterMarz. Hello, MasterMarz. How are you? And we are doing Dragon Quest 3, and we have it's an any percent solo hero Dracky difficulty. I'm gonna just let you explain that because that's a mouthful for me to even try to say. So go for it.
So the start of this, you have a single character which is called the hero. We will be picking appearance A, which is a male character, and the rest of this doesn't exactly matter except for the difficulty mode. There are 3 difficulty modes, basically easy, medium, and hard, Dracky, Dragon, and Draconian. I have run both Dracky and Dragon. Nobody has run Draconian because it's, even though it's hard mode, it just makes things difficult that shouldn't be. They could have made it better. So time will start when I hit yes on setting selection here. And the reason it's called solo hero rather than regular any percent, normally you could get up to 4 party members by recruiting them at Patty's recruitment place, which we'll pass by but not go into. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started and explain things as I go.
All right, and
so, start the timer and
any donation incentives for this one, or we just kind of?
I just had one for the name, but nobody put in for it, so we're just gonna be Blue Cross.
Awesome.
And there really isn't much else I can do. I mean, unless people don't want me to skip certain cutscenes, but that eats into the time. Now, if I finish early, which is possible, it depends on how lucky I am with some of the bosses, and I am a little rusty, so we'll see how things go with that. I am gonna quickly pull up my own timer, just as a comparison to see where I'm at on time.
All right, well, you just give me the signal, and you just go ahead and do your thing.
So I'll be ready to start. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. All right, good luck, gamer.
So getting into this, your character starts out in a dream sequence, and this is basically a quote-unquote personality test. It will select your character's personality for the rest of the game. However, it is possible to change the personality with items. Now, what personality does is it'll determine your character's stat growth. And there is a specific personality we'll be going for every time. And this one's very easy to guarantee. We're just going to mash yes. It'll put us into a specific dream scenario. There are a bunch of others. There was one we used before this. That we don't use anymore, and this has become the most popular one. This personality is called Paragon. We start as a monster, and to get Paragon, we will just set one guy on fire, and then we're just gonna leave. And the exit's down here and to the left. Let's follow this road out, and that's the dream sequence. So now we have the Paragon personality. What this does, it'll have 140% growth in strength, and it'll have really bad growth in just about everything else. And the reason why we want strength and nothing but strength, we want damage. And our character in Dracky Quest cannot die. Our character's basically an unkillable god. And, we just need damage. Now, damage fall-off is a thing in the late game when you get to a higher level, because the luck stat also filters in to damage on abilities. We're also going to quickly adjust our settings here to make things go faster. So battle speed is up to the fastest, text speed is up to the fastest, and we toggle run instead of holding it, because if I didn't toggle it, I would be holding the my run button in the entire playthrough. and that gets hard on fingers. So this starts us off. Our character has reached the age of 16, which apparently in this world is enough to go out on your own and fight monsters and bad guys.
Oh, to be 16 again, my goodness.
And we're going to see the king to get his blessing to leave and set off on a journey to destroy the demon king Baramos, who our father is presumed dead after facing in combat, who had set off many, many years ago. So, we're gonna do the same exact thing as he did, except a lot better. So he gives us some junk items. We don't really need them for anything. We're gonna head out here. I'm gonna grab a holy water from here real quick. In my PB run and world record, I do not grab that, but what it does is once you're a certain level, it can prevent monster encounters in certain areas. I also grabbed money and an item called a Chimera Wing there. Chimera Wings are very important. You'll just see me grabbing a bunch of items along the way here. And I'll be running from most encounters. So there are weapons that do single target hits, like what we have now, which is a copper sword. Boomerangs, which hit all enemies, and whips, which hit groups of enemies. And we won't be killing any like ordinary encounters until we get our first boomerang. But technically we skip our first boomerang, so I guess the second available boomerang in the story, but it's gonna be our first. In the regular Dragon Quest of this, we do get the first boomerang though and level up early. But that's because your character can game over in that. So grab some items there. The main thing we're going to be looking for are seeds, namely seeds of strength and seeds of luck, which aptly boost the strength stat and the luck stat. Secondary important seeds are wisdom as well as magic, which boosts your intelligence, which boosts your magic growth, and magic, which just boost your MP itself. MP is magic power, HP is health points. And we're not going to need any of the defense or stamina seeds, which would boost, well, defense and stamina, which has health growth.
I have to recrop.
Oh, what happened? Do I need to pause?
Nah. We were having issues with the chroma key earlier, and it just seems to be an issue in an area. We're just fixing it right now.
Gotcha.
Everybody's been attacked by the chroma key today.
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah.
So right now the early game is going to be a lot of walking and running away from encounters. We're going to get a key item at the top of this tower that we've entered called the Thief Key, which will give us access to specifically red doors. And there's 3 different important keys in the game. The Thief Key, which lets you open red doors. The Magic Key, which lets you open silver or weaker doors. So silver and red. And the Ultimate Key, which lets you open every type of door, namely its jail cell doors / chain doors and lower. We're actually having fairly good encounter luck. A lot of first turn runaways. Gonna grab a Chimera Wing here, and this guy has the Thief Key. And I'm actually ahead of PB by less than a second. And now we're gonna use one of those Chimera Wings to warp to Outside Reeve. This is the second town, and for some reason this game gives you the warp point before even visiting here. We're gonna go in the second entrance here. The first entrance will put you over on the left side. The second one puts you over by this rock, which we're going to push because there is gold in here. In older versions, that is a tiny metal. Grab more items. Any seeds of stamina and defense we get, we will be selling for money. So a lot of these will end up just sold for money rather than being used. And this guy gives us a wrecking ball. It used to be called the magic bomb. Don't know why we're giving a bomb to a 16-year-old, but that's the game. This will blow open a wall for us to get to the next progressive area. Set out the back end exit and head this way. Yeah, we will be running from encounters for quite a while, about the next, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and picking up some items along the way. There's a strength seed over here that I'm going to grab. I believe I cut that one out of my PB route, but I'm going to pick it up because last time when I tried to do my D-Rust, I was a little short on damage from where I would have liked to have been. Even though that seed adds like 3 encounters extra. As long as I keep getting first turn runaways, I'm fine though. So this is the Path of Promise, and this is what we need the magic bomb for, or the wrecking ball, because we can't get through here without it. But now it's open. Like magic. Get a map from the old guy, and now we can head through here to the next major area of the game. Normally, I also don't grab this. It's also short on money in my D-Rust. This is the Rabbit's Tail. It's an accessory. Accessories are an equipment piece you can put on your character for effects, as well as some accessories will change your character's personality. This Rabbit's Tail is one of those. Now, normally you would want to skip this because of that little pop-up window. This takes an extra couple seconds. But, my route is very strict on money, and if I do not have enough, it really messes up what I try to do. The main thing is I need to have enough money to buy the boomerang I was talking about. It's called the Edged Boomerang, and not having enough for it causes me to lose a lot of time looking for something I can sell to get. I've re-added back in a few pickups. This run has been polished a lot, but still has some polishing to do. My current PB and world record is a 239.11, and I eventually hope to push that to a sub 239 at some point, maybe even a sub 238. Cutting off a whole minute would be amazing, or a minute and a half. It is a somewhat RNG heavy run, just because of the encounters and the second, I want to say the first major boss in the game. There's a minor boss who's pretty easy and extremely consistent, and then there's a major boss who is very difficult and very annoying, consistent. It's not even the boss himself that's the problem, it's his two minions that he brings along with him. I will mention more about the Ripper when we get to the Ripper. This is Monty. That is a slime. There is monster wrangling in this game to pit monsters in the monster arena for rewards. We will be doing none of that. Now, I could have done an incentive, but it would have been only if I have extra time. If I would have extra time, it's go do something in the monster arena. But I wasn't sure how close I'd be to the timer. So I'm gonna grab a holy water here and continue. Now I'm gonna head over here to the east. We're heading to the town of Asham, which is where the edge boomerang is sold. As you can see from the damage I am taking, my character is an unkillable god. Oh yep, easy mode prevents you from dying. However, it does not prevent status effects, which is why we get to them. The boss is very difficult, at least when it comes to doing the boss fast. You're basically guaranteed to win every fight in this game if you try hard enough. It's just how long do you want to spend on that boss fight? Or how long do you want to spend on the fight? You could technically one damage every enemy in the game to death as long as they don't have some sort of regen or healing ability. So this is a sham. Pick up an item here. There's also another important item we need in here. It is located in this cupboard. We will rest at the inn overnight to set it to daytime so we can access the shop we need to. I'll go in this room to sell. Head to this item shop to sell stuff. We won't be selling the Tough Guy Tattoo though, or the Holy Waters, or the Arrow Wings, or any of the important seeds. We did get enough money for the Edged Boomerang. Here, for money, we go to this called the Scam Shop, who will overcharge you by insane amounts. You have to press no 4 times, press yes. Go ahead and equip those, and head out of town. Continue with our journey. So now we have the Edge Boomerang and we have the Tough Guy Tattoo, which lets us do damage pretty well, and also the Tough Guy Tattoo boosts your attack stat. I put it in the second slot specifically because it is a personality changing item. Personality changing accessories will only change your personality if they are in the first slot. So we put them in the second slot unless we need the personality changed, which we won't, or if the item gives the same exact personality, which there is one called the Mighty Armlet that has the Paragon personality. No, I'm not gonna fight anything yet. I am getting another strength seed down here. And then I will use all my seeds and then start taking some encounters to get experience. That. Go ahead and use all our seeds. The seeds roll between a value of 1 and 3. I got a lot of 1s there, which kind of sucks. But, it is what it is. I could load an autosave to try and re-roll the seeds, but it takes up a lot of time to do so. So now I'm gonna be trying to kill stuff to gain experience, and hopefully this crab doesn't give me any problems. They have usually high defense. I'm also gonna change my character to don't use... Oh, I hit the wrong thing. It's gonna change them to don't use MP. This fight's terribly already. Yeah, the crab buffed everybody. I can take that. Yeah, crabs in this game suck. A lot of them use the Kabuff spell, which boosts everything's defense. When I don't use MP, I'm just stuffed crabs.
Oh, with crabs in the last run too. It seemed to be an issue tonight.
And then this is the one so you can't. I also don't like taking these things. These don't. They use this move. I'm gonna take this, and they're not gonna be happy about it. Dazzle increased, like, makes it like a 50-50 chance to hit. Basically, your character is blinded for the duration.
Oh, lovely.
And these guys don't give the best XP, but it's better than nothing. So this should get us level 6. Hoping for 7, but 6 is fine too. So the more levels I get at once, the less I have to deal with the level animations, which also speeds up the run. However, we had very bad encounter luck. I was hoping for flamepedes and catflies. Flamepedes give the most XP in this area, and catflies are decent, and neither of them do any like buff spells or status effects that matter. Catflies can do stop spell, but I'm not casting spells. And we're stopping in the castle of Ibis here to grab this unique accessory called the Meteorite Bracer. What this does, it will double whoever equips its agility, and that's the ghost who used to own this. And I did not get evacs, so that is bad. I'm gonna have to use a Chimera Wing, unfortunately. Really bad luck with encounters. So I'm supposed to have a spell called evac there, which lets you exit town. But I had to use a Chimera Wing instead because I didn't get high enough level by the time I got there. Next, we're gonna go to this oasis here. There's an important item called Oomph Powder, which will basically double your attack stat when used for up to 4 turns. And it's often the max turn, but sometimes isn't. And then we're gonna go to this pyramid up here. This will get us the zoom point for the pyramid, and I am just not getting any good encounters. I am tired of these crabs. Oh my crabs.
Marathon luck. Here we go.
So that sucks. Now that we have this, we're gonna go back to Marian Road. We'll be coming back to the pyramid later, but now I am short a Chimera Wing, and I will have to grab backup Chimera Wing. Now we just head to the north. We're skipping that item because it's garbage. It's barely worth any money, and we have the use for it. I will take some encounters along the way for XP, and hopefully get some decent ones. And this is actually a weaker area, and the enemies don't give as much XP, so I'm only gonna take ones that can be killed with like 1 or 2 turns that at least give a decent amount. And we're gonna skip that upcoming down. I did some testing for like an hour where I was plotting out paths and like what the most optimal movement is. The old world record would visit that town and go through a cutscene to get a zoom point later. I say zoom because the Chimera Wing uses the spell zoom, which lets you warp to whatever location you visited. And it was actually slower to visit that town and do the cutscene than it is to skip the town and use a different point. You get a ship later on so you can navigate the waters. Then to use the ship at a different point to go to a specific area. And there might even be another more optimal path that I haven't thought of yet. But nobody's discovered it yet, or if they have, they haven't gotten a PB enough to submit it. But yeah, I've literally just taken my timer over and over for like 20 minutes at a time for a bunch of different routes, just retesting how fast I can go from point A to point B, and then comparing it to a separate point A to point B. I also account for encounter times. So if a specific route makes me go for, say, 2 encounters, but another route has a more consistent, oh hey, it's a 1 encounter or 3 encounters, that'll factor into the time. I also timed how long cutscenes take, and things like that. And the towns, upon entry, a lot of them will have just, there's unskippable cutscenes the first time you enter.
That's a lot of variables. My goodness.
Yeah, but once you find out all those variables, it comes down to a very specific route that works the most consistent. It's just somebody has to test over and over to figure out all those variables and account for them.
And then internally your clock goes off like, I know that this is faster, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point it's just memorize a very specific route.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So yeah, I have routed this game. I have taken other people's routes. Hi, Cosmo.
Hey,
and
Cosmo.
I have merged everything into my current route, which is my 23911. Icy in March.
In Minnesota, I don't believe it.
It was raining a little bit here today in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I used to live in upstate New York, and I used to play on the golf team, and I totally played golf matches in the snow in April. There's always a famous April storm. You live up there. It never fails.
April showers bring Mayflowers.
Most of the time, we just skip spring. We just go straight into summer. For like
Yeah,
2 months. For 2 months, and then it's like right back to winter. Yeah.
Summer is my birthday is actually the first day of summer.
Very nice. Yeah, my dad's is actually
June
the first day of
21st.
March, or first day of spring. Yeah, we just celebrated his.
Hey, free herb. Gonna grab this chest. This has what's called a prayer ring. Used outside or inside a battle, it'll restore your MP by a random amount up to a certain threshold. I forget what it is. And it has a chance of breaking every time you use it, but the reason why we pick it up, it's worth a lot of money. Basically be selling every single prayer ring we pick up. Majority of the time, I don't need to heal MP outside of battle. Also, that oomph powder I picked up has a very specific use coming up in a moment here. Picking up these for money. Hopping down here, this is the first minor boss fight of the run. Use seeds, throw in our oomph powder, and say hello to Robin Hood and his Oodlings. Also used to be called Kandar and Goons. And the way we have our characters set up, they'll automatically use the oomph powder, and we'll just start attacking here. It should be a 3-turn kill. Sadly, it's a 4-turn this time because, well, technically a 4-turn kill was a 5-turn this time. 1 for the oomph powder, then attacks. I did not have a high enough level as I wanted to because of the grabbing characters. And also, we have to let him go. Don't worry, we'll be seeing him again within the next, like, 40 minutes.
Cool.
Normally, I would warp wing here, but since I don't have to have a warp wing, and I don't have the zoom spell yet because I'm not high enough level, I'm gonna walk out here. We're gonna head south, and down here, there is another strength seed that the old world record would get, not that spot, one further down. And it also has a chimera wing with it. Actually, I think it has 2. And this is my backup strat. This corner quick. It's all the way down here at the bottom of this peninsula. Go figure. So at least we got 2 strength seeds and a magic seed, which is nice. But I did cut this out of the run, and now we're off to the pyramid. I made a mistake. Was not supposed to go to the pyramid. I need to go to a sham first, and then the pyramid. So I need oomph powders, which the scam shop here also sells. Don't worry about the chimera wing though, I can just buy more here. And I will only need 1 more, because I will get the zoom spell after the next boss fight. Just a little time loss from a miss zoom. Not sure how many I can buy. Looks like 5, which will actually be good enough for the next 2 boss fights. And now we go to the pyramid. 5 is a very good amount to get. And now we just have a nice walk through a pyramid. Facing what you would expect to be in a pyramid. Well, mostly what you would expect. Also, don't step on the scale tiles. They will, they are basically a pitfall. Ah, that's exactly what we expect. Mummies. Don't mind the bag. Thankfully, the bag didn't troll me this time. So those Bag of Laughs, they don't have much experience. They give decent gold. But they like to do a bunch of spells, including, but not limited to, Dazzle and Buff. And both of those are annoying spells to deal with. Kabuff raises defense of all of the enemy monsters. Dazzle is the one that blinds me. So we'll be taking a few encounters in here if I deem them easy enough to kill and worth the experience to try and maybe get another level before the boss. Just to have a good amount of strength for it. Nice crit. Necessary crit, but crit. This game's really fun even casually. With Dracky Quest though, it'll definitely feel way too easy because you can't die. With a regular difficulty and a full, properly prepared party, everything is also pretty easy. Solo hero, it is a fairly tough challenge on normal difficulty. And on Draconian, it's just basically reduces your XP gain, which sucks. Hey, level 13. Alright. So, that's gonna be it for the leveling. And now we have a puzzle, which the answer used to be more difficult in the older versions. And this one, it's just eastest of east and westest of west. You just have to press the furthest right switch and then furthest left switch. It used to be you had to press all 4 switches in the older versions of the game. So it'd be east of east to east of west, then west of east to west of west. So it was 3rd switch, 2nd switch, 4th switch, 1st switch. I think. Something like that. Either way, it was a pain in the butt, and if you fail to press it in the right order, you get dropped to the floor below. So now we're gonna shove our oomph powders in our inventory, and this is Ripper. The Ripper. And he's not the problem. It's his little snake buddy is called Killas. We're gonna switch to follow orders, and we're gonna try and use an oomph powder. These guys have a chance to glare at me, which will put me to sleep. He has a chance to dazzle me. We got immediately put to sleep. Now, the dazzle would have landed, but that'll go away from the sleep status. Sleep overrides it. But we wasted an oomph powder, basically. And our character has a chance to wake up every turn until a guaranteed wake up on, like, 4th turn. There goes our oomph powder. And this boss is the bane of my existence. This boss is the entire reason it took me so long to get a PB, let alone world record. Just because of these little snake guys. They're terrible, and I hate them. I hate them so much. Stop glaring at me.
Wow.
So this literally was just so many insults towards the glare ability. It's just that busted. I hate it so much. Yeah, so the goal was, on this fight, oomph powder, start swinging boomerang, hopefully hit the Killa 2 to 3 times to kill it, and not get stuck in a sleep block. This is why the 3-hour estimate. If this boss fight goes well, we get those 240s in earlier times. If this boss fight goes wrong, we could be sitting here for upwards of 10 minutes.
Oh, lovely.
This boss fight is RNG hell. I'm gonna be saving my last 2 oomph powders. I mean, technically I can buy another, but... hopefully... Nope, we got glared again. Also, another annoying thing, the second Killa there casts heal. And when it heals that first one, it makes the fight take even longer, like it's doing right now. Out of sleep and immediately back to sleep. And this is just gonna be me mashing A until I get through. So with how bad this has been going, this would just automatically be a reset. But I'm not allowed to. So we're just kind of stuck here.
You want to do the next, what, 38 minutes over again? I'll let you try, but...
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
so far this fight has put me 3 minutes over PB.
We're totally not in an RPG speedrun right now, totally.
Okay, now let's try this. Flame Slash should kill if I can get the hit off. There we go. Okay. We have dealt with the first killer, so now we're fine for the rest of the fight. It's just swing until the second kill is dead, and then Flame Slash until Ripper's dead. It just does slightly more damage. Sadly, we're dazzled, which will slow us down a little bit. He actually ran out of MP. We've been in this fight so long. Listing? What? Okay, are you planning to learn regular any percent or solo hero? Okay, that is Ripper down. Very, very annoying RNG fight. Good luck with regular 80%. It is a doozy, and this boss fight also gives that run a lot of trouble. And now we have the magic key. And we had the zoom spell. So now we go to the Romarian Road.
Also, while I was napping, thank you for the raid, Kato. Very much appreciated. And welcome in, everybody. We are getting started here on day one.
Now we are heading to the next major city and the start of the ship obtaining quest. We're heading to the city of Portoga. Also, this map is like a loosely based real-world map. Portoga is basically Portugal, whereas a couple of the cities we skipped, Romilly, or I think it's Romari in this version, is Rome. Aliahan is, I remember. I can't remember what Olean was supposed to be. So anyways, we're just heading to the city. We're gonna pick up a few more seeds. We're gonna pick up items from the treasury. We're gonna do a couple zooms as well to go loot another treasury with the magic key we recently obtained. So we made it to Portoga. There is a luck seed in this barrel, a strength seed in this building to the left, this pouch, and there is another strength seed on the end of this port. Now this one's a little out of the way. This is the castle. Before we talk to the king, we're gonna go in here. This dresser contains an oomph powder, putting us back up to 3. And the treasury here, where although we paid for an edge boomerang already, we get a free one here. Sadly, a little too late. And talk to the king, and he wants us to get him some pepper. So he'll tell us to head east through the Blonde Pass and talk to the dwarf there. They'll let us through. Because he's friends with him. We're gonna head back to a sham. And if I didn't have oomph powders, I would normally buy a couple extra here, but we have 3, which is good enough for the next fight. We'll just be running from encounters until the next boss fight. Meantime, it's just gonna be a lot of walking and skipping through dialogue. This is Nordy the dwarf. If you couldn't tell by him saying his name.
Wait there a second.
Grab this, just sell it for money. And now we're out of the pass. Now I have also... So this pathway here to the next town is very long and very awkward. So there's a lot of wasteland territory, which has an increased encounter chance, as well as forest. So like think of the plains area here as like a 1 times. The forest is roughly a 2 times, and the wasteland is roughly a 4 times. I'm not sure if that's the exact amount, but I try to avoid the wasteland here while still heading fairly straight to the next destination. I do have to walk through some. I did do other pathing here where I can cut through the center and follow mostly grassland, but every time I tested, it was very hard to keep a consistent pathway. I think this one I just took is rough fastest, because it'll lead us into this desert tile, which I think desert has the same as normal plains. Not 100% sure though. And this is the next town. This is Baharata. And the next few cutscenes have some very bad Indian voice acting, but we are not going to hear it because we're just going to skip it all. Like, the accents are really, really bad.
Like really bad.
It's like an English person trying to impersonate an Indian bad.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it
Say no
is
more.
terrible. It is terrible voice acting. I don't know how they couldn't get like an actual Indian voice actor with a normal accent to voice there. Like, I'm sure there's tons of people willing to do it. So we're gonna stop in here. This is Kidnapper's Cove. Essentially, the cutscene back there, the guy's wife-to-be got kidnapped, and Gopal in this version went to go rescue her, and he just gets kidnapped as well. So we gotta go rescue them. But You'll get to see soon enough who kidnapped them. Meantime, we're gonna go to the next destination, because we want to buy a weapon here. And we also need this place for teleporting later. This is Altray's Abbey, and thankfully, the shops are open here at night. So we're gonna go ahead and sell stuff. I did forget to do something, though. Yes, I forgot to go to the treasuries. Since it's nighttime, I can use the Ibis treasury. But I forgot to go to the Eliahan treasury, which is only open during the day. I do have a way to solve that, though. And I go to the treasuries. One, there's an item I need from the Eliahan one, which is very important for damage output. And two, there's a lot of stuff worth a lot of money. I think it's a fairly comfy game. It has a lot of nice music. My favorite song is the credits song, though. I won't be getting the bottom left, though. It is just a tiny medal, which we do not need in this run. Tiny medals are a little, like, side quest item that you can turn in for rewards at a spot in the bottom of a well in this town. So I can just go to the inn here, rest overnight, stores everything, and sets it. Go into the treasury and get what I need. So the equipment item I talked about earlier, the Mighty Armlet that sets you to Paragon, it has double the attack stat of the Tough Guy tattoo, and we're going to equip it. So we're going to put it in the first slot, combining it with the Tough Guy tattoo to really upgrade our damage. It'll be the last chest here. It's our Mighty Armlet. Now we'll go back to Altray's Abbey, as we need to buy a weapon here called the Gustarang. Basically, it's another boomerang, except this one does wind damage. Now, the next boss is technically weak to wind, but there's also things in the boss fight that are resistant to wind. But it balances out pretty well that they all die at the same time. Okay, now we're gonna head out of here. We're not gonna zoom the Kidnapper's Cove yet. We're going to head to the east to pick up some more seeds, as well as another zoom point we'll need to make the route a little faster at a later point in time. Oh wait, not strength seeds, luck seeds. Either way, they're still important. I don't mind the dazzle, but the lick attack that the Naneater just did can cause a status called Goosebumps. It's basically this a status effect that puts fear on your character, which just makes them waste their entire turn. Then this is the Wayfarer's Inn. We're just stopping here with the zoom point, and now we're going. It was. We can't take the first path, it'll lead to a dead end. We just want to head left to the second path here, and then just head straight down. Then once we're all the way down, then we want to head to the right. I will be skipping some barrels and other stuff. I'm going to kill these real quick. These are Cachulas. And and there's a very rare drop from them that I like to try for. Also, it got me a level, which is nice. They're pretty easy to kill. Sadly, did not drop the item. Eventually, I will get the catsuit drop in one of these runs, and I'll get to just wear the catsuit for the entire run, just for the hell of it.
Nice.
It is a literal catsuit, and it is an appearance-changing item, so it will affect your overworld look. Like, basically put your character in a mascot outfit for the rest of the game.
Sweet.
There's also bikinis and some other similar ones. Relatively low. I don't know the exact drop rate. I just know it is rare. So next up, we're gonna go and use any of our important seeds. Throw our oomph powders in our inventory. And you might recognize... Oh, I forgot. Hold on, I forgot to equip. There we go. Nope. No, this time. Might recognize these guys from earlier. They're Robin Hoodlums. This is Robin Hood's lair. These are the guys who are resistant to wind. Robin Hood himself is weak to wind. However, in oomph powder and usually 3 attacks will get through them, and we got good RNG, none of them used midi. So that's the first fight. There will be a second fight soon enough. Grab some money from here. They took from the rich to give to the me. Pretty sure that was all their savings that they took from people. Now there are 2 hidden items behind each of those beds, but I'm gonna get them because they're not useful in this run. And this is Robin Hood 2, Electric Boogaloo. Or Wind Boogaloo, I should say. So we're just gonna oomph powder and just keep swinging. As you can see, he's weak to wind, those guys are resistant to wind. And we're hoping none of them mid-heal. Like that. It's very annoying when they mid-heal. Because that Robin Hoodlum A might have died that turn to make it easier to kill the last one. But, okay, it's not gonna matter, and... Actually, I meant to use Flame Slash here, but it didn't matter, we got a crit.
Nice crit.
Nice crit. I don't even know if I need a crit there, but he's dead either way.
Can't hurt.
Oh, I just realized I forgot. You know how I mentioned earlier that I picked up those holy waters for a reason?
Yes.
I didn't even use them for what I needed to. So after you get the magic key, you're a high enough level to skip encounters from that area to Portoga. And yeah, I was just running from the encounters. So now Gopal's rescued, and we're supposed to get pepper for the king from him, but he's out of pepper, and tells us the guy at All Trades Abbey has it. So you wouldn't be able to tell from all the text I just skipped. We're gonna grab an oomph powder for free here, and then go to All Trades Abbey. The merchant guy in here has the pepper we want for the king, and the king will gift us with a ship. Apparently pepper is so valuable that it is worth an entire ship in the universe, which is kind of explanatory. This game is somewhat set in the age of exploration, where the spice trade in the real world kicked off, and everybody was like trying to get a ship to go explore the world and find a new path to Asia and India for spices because of how valuable they were. And this is shown through this king gifting you a ship, King of Portugal basically. It's also shown through you set up an entire new town in the new world. There's a village called It's called Sue in the old versions. It has a new name in this version. I can't completely remember it because we cut it out of the run for this run specifically, but it might still be in the regular solo hero any percent. I'm not sure though. And now we have a ship. And now that we have a ship, we're going to zoom to read. And thankfully, the ship comes with us. We don't have to drive it everywhere. Because it is ungodly slow in the version. And although I just got Holy Protection and I have Holy Waters, it will not stop encounters on the ocean because I'm not high enough level. And the encounter I just had are Mana Wars. They are very annoying. They have a chance to paralyze you, which eats up a lot of turns. Thankfully, did not get paralyzed. We do not want to get paralyzed. I'm just gonna head south into the west, and we're basically heading to Australia.
Australia?
Yep. It is quite literally Australia. It has the outback thing. Will not be visiting the outback right away, though. There's only one city, though. This is the city of Lanson. Yay, Lanson. We're gonna stop in the weapon shop here to grab an item out of a pot. Our seed of luck. We're gonna go to this shop. We need a fading Jenny, used to be called a hide herb. And then we're gonna sell stuff. Basically anything and everything we don't need for this run is sold, including but not limited to the Elfin Elixir, which you've seen was worth a lot there. And we're just gonna buy a ton of Boom Powders. As many as we can buy. Gonna hit up this spot for a Seed of Magic. And now we're gonna zoom to Skyfell Tower. The Fading Jenny basically makes your character turn invisible on the overworld, which is very important to get into the next area. We're heading to the United Kingdom now. Please support the Blue Cross UK guys.
Absolutely.
And they call everybody bumpkins here. This is the Castle of Edina. It used to be called Edinburgh in older versions, and this one it's called Edina. And we're gonna go steal a vase. Oh, I walk into him. Normally it doesn't let you in, so you just have to sneak by him. You don't get kicked out for talking to anybody in here. It's weird. You can just go around and talk to everybody once you're in here. He won't let you in.
What's up, dude?
I just have this stupid little rock puzzle here. I kind of already messed up. Oh, doing a slightly slower solution. It's fine. And this pot we're stealing from the basement here is going to be used to get the ult, which will let us unlock all the doors we need to. Not all the game. I'll unlock this hate this noise, this very creaky door. And even though I skipped the animation, it still just plays the sound effect after. It's very annoying. I hate this door. That's the bottomless pot. now we'll zoom so that spot I had picked up earlier, the Wayfarer's Inn. We'll now head here. I'm gonna actually rest at the inn and set it until dawn. This will save me a little bit of time on the entry point to the next town. That if I were to enter it at night, I would end up having to use the inn there. It's a little faster to use the inn here instead. Fighting the giant calamari over here. Actually, no, that one's just a king. I think there is actually like an app called Calamari or something. Or King Calamari or something in this game. Unless that was an older version. I don't know. I get the older versions and the new version mixed up a bunch just because of how much I played the Game Boy Color version. So since it's daytime, we can actually take the fast entrance here. This is the town of Loire, which got its name changed in this version. We can actually dock here. It's now called Mur. It's practically Russia. Peredizhnik, however you say that. This place is basically Russia. And because we had the docking entry, we have the fast entry here into a bunch of cutscenes. And this is for one very, very important item. It's our father's helmet. If you watch any of the cutscenes for the opening of the game, you will find out Ortega's journey. And this also tells a lot about Ortega, Kiro's father. He was half dead when he came here. He was nursed back to health, but before he was fully healed, demons attacked the place and he defended it, his life. And then moved on after that, leaving his helmet here. So yeah, now we got his helmet. I'm just gonna go ahead and equip it. Forgetting that water's inventory and just shove it in here. Just that. There's a monster you can collect there, sea slime. Back on the ship, and now we're gonna go get the ultimate. Now, this helmet is not gonna be important right away. It's just gonna prevent, or it's just gonna reduce damage, which isn't gonna matter. What matters is its secondary effect. Certain status effects have a 50% chance of not hitting us, which combined with a high luck stat will make us immune to certain status effects. Namely, the dazzle effect that has been so annoying up till now. And a lot of bosses like to use dazzle. So during those bosses, as long as we have a high enough luck stat, which is where the luck seeds come in, and the Ortega helmet, we will be immune to dazzle while attacking, which makes the boss fights much faster and much more consistent. Now, there is a route where you could just skip the helmet and you're making the game more RNG. So you save time skipping the helmet, but you now have to deal with the chance on any boss that has dazzle dazzling you and making your life miserable.
Oh, lovely.
So that was the ultimate key. And we're gonna head to the northeast here. There's another item to pick up, a couple of zoom points to pick up. We'll be heading to our next area to get another key item. So, picking up the Dragon Tail Whip here, and a couple of junk items for money. Then we're heading to this spot. This is Grimland. There's another Elven Elixir we can buy here for the money, but I'm gonna pick it up later because we have to come back here. Okay. Is breathe on me. So we're just gonna pick up the zoom point and leave. There are some strength and luck seeds to the northeast up here, but I'm gonna skip those. Some of them I can cut out of the run just because they take too long. And we have fairly good strength and luck already. Then we're headed down here. Another zoom point. This is the teleportal shrine. We're gonna head to this one to get yet another zoom point to save time later. This will be Olivia's promontory, or however you say this word, right in the bottom there. And we'll teleport to our actual destination, the Minoza region, in the Wayfarer Chapel. There's more strength and luck seeds to the northwest here, but we're gonna skip those too. And we're gonna head to the next town, the town of Minoza. Ooh, I'm gonna take this fight. These are metal slimes. They have 4k XP each. On the rare chance that I can oh, I just realized I might not be able to even hit them. Nope. Okay. Bad idea. Wind boomerang, they are immune to wind. Unfortunately, I actually need to equip the dragon tail whip. Trade that old weapon out. That would help. Could have hit him with the dragon tail whip. That is a somewhat rare encounter, and it only happens at night in this region. As well as several other regions, the metal slimes only appear at nighttime. One of them specifically is used for level grinding in the normal any percent of this run, or at least used to be until somebody came up with a completely new strategy and I haven't learned the new route yet. And we're gonna stop in here. This is the town of Minoza. And the music here is a little different. It's very solemn and very sad. We will find out why soon enough. But for now, we're grabbing this and leaving. We will be back here. I mean to go back in. We'll be back here. For now, we want to head to the Minoza Cave to get a key item, which will be used in Minoza later. So the item we're getting is an item called the Ra's Mirror. Basically, Ra is a sun god. And the mirror reveals the true nature of beings. You can use it for capturing specific monsters that disguise themselves as people. Hint, hint. One of the bosses upcoming is a monster disguised as a person. And if you read the Ripper's dialogue, he actually tells you what the upcoming monster... Well, he tells you what a monster is that is supposed to deal with you. Named the Boss Troll. And, yeah, the Boss Troll is disguised as a human. There's also another monster disguised as a human, which we'll get to fight soon enough. Its name is Orochi. And, it has a different storyline, and the Ra's Mirror is not used on Orochi, but it is used to discover the Boss Troll. So, this is very easy. You just jump down this hole, and here's the mirror. And a lot of the chests in this cave are, they're quite literally just mimics. And on normal playthroughs, fighting them is very difficult. They're very strong. Now we're gonna go back to the Wayfarer's Inn. I'm incorrect. There is another spot I want to stop first. We're going to the Path of Promise, because now we're on the quest to find... I believe it's 6 it is this 7 orbs. We're on a quest to find 7 orbs scattered throughout the world to awaken a legendary bird. And that is the main quest line of this game, and it takes roughly from the point you get the ship to the point you get the orbs is almost an hour. It's like roughly 50-ish minutes.
Wow.
But on a slow run, it's an hour. And that is the bulk of the run. So stop here. This is where we get our first orb, the red orb. I wonder where it's at.
I
Couldn't be under this statue.
no.
That's glowing bright red.
No. That's not
There's used
red.
to be
That's
a much more hidden spot in the older version.
that's not red.
They
That's
made it so blatant and easy in this version.
that looked
And
like
now we want
orange
to
to
go to the
me.
wafers in. So that's the red orb, the first and the easiest of the orbs, and sadly the only one that is truly free now. I'm gonna go in here. So, Ripper is a new boss exclusive to this version, but this game also added more bosses. So normally, only a few of the orbs were guarded by bosses. Now, so the purple orb, which we're going to get next, is guarded by Orochi. The red orb was free. The boss troll guarded an item called the Mod Rod in this version, or the Changing Staff in other versions, which would eventually lead you to the silver orb. But now there's another boss guarding the silver orb indirectly. It's guarding the volcano that you would normally throw a sword into. And then the silver orb is free-ish after that. You have to go through this big cave. The blue orb used to be free, but is now guarded by a very easy boss. And the green orb used to be free, but is now guarded by a very annoying boss. And then the yellow orb, you have to do this big side quest chain I'll explain later. This really sucks. I got put to sleep and cannot run from this fight. This is annoying. So, just as up, sleep is one of the saddest effects I'm supposed to be able to be immune to with the Ortega helm. My luck is not high enough to be immune to sleep right now. My character does not want to wake up. I was thinking about worst case scenario with bosses. I never expected worst case scenario encounters where I get nothing but crabs. I just got put to sleep by a toad. I haven't gotten paralyzed yet.
At least you
Waiting
found
for
it.
that to happen.
At least they made finding the orb easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something.
I really want to try and kill these metal slimes, but I don't want to waste any more time. You can hear the screeching. Yes, we hear you, Orochi. Ooh, I will fight these ones. If I get a lucky crit, this could be really nice. If I don't, this is just a waste of time. No crit. No crit. If I can get... Nope, it fled. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you do not sound amused.
Nope, they all ran. Well, unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie rumbles. Orochi's very loud. Wonder where he's at. Make sure I have... Yep, oomph powders. Here is proper. Alright, stop your screeching. I'm here, I'm here. This is Orochi.
Hello.
So Orochi is a Hydra, also kind of a dragon, so Dragon Tail Whip does a little bit of bonus damage to him. And weak to lightning, so we'll be Oomph Powder Lightning Slashing, which is actually going to be our go-to for a large number of bosses. Many bosses, for some reason, are weak to lightning. Now, unfortunately, did not get a 4-turn oomph powder. Has a chance to be up to 4 turns. I don't think it'll matter overall. Rochi 1 is a fairly easy boss. It will actually give us a new weapon, which we'll be swapping to. Yep, so there's a Rochi 1. The turn on the oomph powder didn't matter. Good experience, couple levels. I forgot to use my seeds, I just realized. Wouldn't have made a difference there, but just to remember to use all your seeds. We're not going to equip the weapon yet, and now we're teleported to the nearby town of Japan, or this place is basically Japan. As Orochi is a Japanese myth. It was like an 8-headed serpent that wanted sacrifices, and it had a hero, Samanosa? I don't remember the name of the hero. It started with an S. So we're gonna use Orochi's sword now. Just the equipment. Sword was like made from Orochi's blood and flowers, and Orochi's disguise as the leader here, Himiko. Because it ate the real one, and then took her place, and then demanded sacrifices of the youngest women in the town, or women in the town in general, and has basically just been eating them. And that's Orochi's backstory. As a monster that eats women and demands sacrifices.
Cool
There's
story.
not much else to Orochi.
Cool story, bro. Like,
the real
literally.
version is a lot more in-depth. Okay, fortunately we just had a turn due to fear. We're hoping not to get hit by this move, Burning Breath, because that one causes paralysis, and paralysis wastes a lot of turns. Speak of the devil. Okay, at least it was only a 1-turn paralysis.
Marathon luck at its finest.
Orochi is really going out with all the status effects. Okay, that's Orochi 2 done.
Alright, GG's.
Bunch of levels. Orochi is dead. Truth about Orochi is spread. I get the purple orb and some other stuff as a reward. And a diamond that we're gonna sell for money. Okay, we're gonna now head to Minosa. Okay, we're gonna go to the inn. We need to set it to nighttime. You cannot get into the castle in this town unless it is nighttime, because the guards under the order of the king will block you out. Try to see the magic here. Cutscene. This guy was executed by the king just for like looking at him or something. I forget the exact story behind that, but they host a funeral.
Seems a little harsh.
Yeah, because the king's just not feeling himself,
Just
you
looked
know?
at somebody the wrong way, off with your head.
Yeah, the
Wow.
king's not really himself.
Yeah,
No, the king's locked in the dungeon. We're about to go kill Boss Troll, who has taken over the place of the king.
Cool.
King's not feeling himself because he's literally not the king. Oh, if you want to see something funny, I'm just gonna show this. This is what the guards are doing at night.
Oh, we love memes around here.
He's just sleeping in front of the barrel. I don't know why he's sleeping there. In the older versions, he's just chowing down on a ton of food because he doesn't get enough during
Plus
the
there's
day.
like wine in that barrel. I would be camped out there for a minute.
That's also possible. He just got drunk. Now there's a prayer ring up by that the old world record used to grab for money, but I don't bother with it. That or backup MB source, which I don't really need. And I'm just gonna check inventory and make sure I have all the stone powders in here. Use a Raw's mirror. And oh look! That's a troll!
No way. Oh. Hello.
He hits hard. This boss is extremely painful in the normal any percent, as well as the normal difficulty solo hero.
Alt
He
smash.
has killed so many runs. He's not the worst boss in the game, but he's one of the 3 top worst. In my opinion, at least. Now, the only thing I don't like with him in this difficulty, one, the attacker ability will have a chance to reduce your attack stat, so you'll do less damage. And he does the fuddle spell, which causes confusion, which will waste a bunch of your turns. Like that. At least I got an attack out of it.
You're like calling your shot every single time today. This is.
This bad thing.
If this bad thing happens, and then the bad thing happens.
Hey, at least I'm getting attacks, and now I've returned to my senses. Also, Boss Troll is weak to fire, but not other elements, and back to fuddle status. Oh, okay, we snapped out of it immediately that time. Okay, that one missed. That one hit. Thankfully, we're an unkillable god, so all this damage just does nothing to us. And there's another fuddle. We are having some pretty bad luck on this boss fight. Now, although he is weak to Flame Slash, for some reason Sizz he's not weak to, which is a fire spell. So I'm not sure why specifically the boss troll is weak to Flame Slash. Because I'm pretty sure the Cuss's spell, which is also fire damage, isn't super effective against them. Yeah, I don't know exactly. That's very weird.
You would think.
Wow, we have been getting hit by a lot of fuddles. Wow. Yet another one. There he goes. Okay, that's boss troll.
Got him. GG's.
GG's. One of the multiple annoying bosses out of the way. Thankfully, they mostly get easier from here. The next boss is pretty much a breeze. He's weak to wind, and he's fairly easy to do. He has attacker, but that's the only major debuff I think he has. And there's the mod rod, which we will be going to turn in for a boatman's bone. Also an extra mighty armlet, which we'll be equipping. The other one on. So this is where we head back to Grimland. We'll be grabbing the elfin elixir I mentioned earlier, which is a pouch on the tree. There's a merchant here, but they don't sell it. Need. This guy wants the mod rod. Gives us the boatman's bone. And this will lead us to the ghost pirate ship, which doesn't spawn unless you have this bone. And it always spawns in the same spot in this. And the Game Boy Color versions and possibly other older versions had a random chance of spawning to the west of Rome here, or to the south, I think sometimes to the east. But in this version, it's always in this same area here, and then it's just slightly around. They made the spawn static. And we just come on here. There's another key item to get in here. The Lover's Locket, which will let us go through Olivia's promontory area with the ship. Wow, bad luck here too. Normally I never get an encounter coming in here. There's the Lover's Locket. So now we go to Olivia's promontory. And now, normally there's a curse that prevents you from sailing ships through here. Now, we can just use the locket. We can skip this scene. Not skippable versions. Usually it would take a break, like a 30-second break here. Older versions, not this one. This one you can skip it. And here's another character that had interacted with Ortega, eventually died. I still haven't actually watched this guy's cutscenes because I've tried to do speedruns of this and continued with my playthrough. Eventually I'll go back to a casual playthrough of this. So yeah, he died. He's a ghost here. He's locked up in jail for the bad things he's done, but we get his weapon, the Mountain Cleaver. And we're gonna go toss this in a volcano. Or at least try to. There's going to be a boss trying to stop us. Wasn't there in the original. Just the HD 2D remake. One of the multiple brand new bosses. Paralyzed. Why am I paralyzed? Hey, out of there. Actually, not sure. I think I can use Holy Protection through this water at my level. If not, then I'm gonna get another counter here. That's interesting. Normally those guys are only supposed to spawn on the other side down below. I think the mountain flavor sets off a flag that but if they don't, there's a bleed over spot there. What a bleed over spot is when the next area's enemies leak over into a previous area before you can access the next area. An example of this, there is a bleed over area near the town of Asham, top right corner of the mountain, where you can fight enemies from the Baharata region without having the magic key. I have yet to make it useful for a speedrun though. This is Garboil. I had a Garboil. He's guarding the volcano and doesn't want me to throw a sword into it. He's weak to wind. And he uses attacker like he just hit me with and lowered my attack, which sucks. I think he also uses Dazzle, and I guess he'll Burning Breath. Oh, paralyzed, attack's lowered, unparalyzed, attack still lowered. Well, Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong.
It doesn't sound like anything good is happening to you.
I just got double parried and double debuffed without doing much.
Cool.
Maybe my luck's just rolled really bad this seed, which is possible.
No, you got unlucky because I usually bring the worst RNG imaginable to a speedrun.
I don't know, my D-Rust
I'm notorious for having,
my D-Rust was going even worse than this, to be fair.
I'm literally known in Final Fantasy X-2. Like, X-2 hates me. It's not my fault, not a skill issue. The game just hates people. It hates me the most.
Thankfully, I accounted for the worst RNG possible, and I'd have to lose an entire 20 minutes on this run to hit the 3-hour mark.
Okay.
I'm also the last run of the...
So we're still cozy.
Yeah, I've only lost almost 8.5 minutes.
Okay. That's still pretty. I mean, that's still pretty rough.
Wow, this is literally the worst RNG I've ever had on this fight.
I mean,
that is hilariously bad RNG.
At least you get
he has hit like every Burning Breath.
At least you get to show.
Fail.
At least you get to show it off. Yeah, the last run of the night.
Going until one of us loses consciousness. I just got hit by another Burning Breath. This is crazy.
Sleep? We could play this game all night. Who wants to sleep?
I could do the normal run, which is like 4 to 6 hours, depending on RNG.
I'll take the sleep.
The normal difficulty, solo hero.
This is unfair enough. Watching this.
Yeah, the main problem with the normal difficulty is the second to last boss in the game, who you could literally waste over a half hour on if he just doesn't want to cooperate, and you just keep fighting him over and over and over again.
Sounds like a game I speedrun.
So he is called Bones of Baramos, and he hits like a truck. And you basically have to spend the first like 12 turns burning out his MP by using a spell called Kaklang, which basically makes you immune to damage, but you also can't attack or do any other actions while it's active. And that lasts like about 3 to 4 turns.
Sick. Nice.
And you just have to sit there using it for like 11 casts, not just 11 turns, but 11 full casts of it, burning out Bones's MP bar. And then, to top it all off, you have to get a very specific series of attacks that you survive him. I am not immune to Dazzle. I have a lower luck stat than I should right now. That is probably why I'm getting hit with all these verdict breaths. Anyways, you have to have a very specific series of attacks to kill him. You have this thing called Blade Armor, which enemies will take reflected damage back at themselves. You have to have him miss a certain amount of attacks or use abilities that use his MP that he no longer has. And you can only survive about 3 attacks before he would kill you. So, yeah, if he lands more than 3 attacks, you're dead and loading the autosave right before his fight.
Yeah, no thanks.
And this is at the end of the run. This is the second to last boss of the game that it's this annoying.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I stopped running a normal difficulty just because of that boss and that boss alone. I was tired of losing my runs after getting to the end. This is crazy how bad this RNG is. I am almost 5 minutes behind my PB just from this fight alone. He literally ran out of MP, which never happens. Okay, that's Garboil. Also, correction, I am exactly 4 minutes behind my PB.
Mercifully. Hot diggity dog.
Thankfully, there are some luck accessories that we will get access to. Look at all the demons surrounding our dad. Too bad I'm not listening to the rest of the story. How'd to chuck a sword in a volcano? All this to open up a path. I gotta go through a big cave to get this silver orb. Yes. Yeah. This area. Yeah, what would have happened on all the runs I've reset?
It's what makes marathon runs so great.
Yeah, so this run was already a reset back at freaking Ripper. It was the first major obstacle. If you get a bad Ripper, you reset, which is at least an early reset point. It's within the first 40 minutes of the game. First 35 if you're on a good run.
And we did offer to allow for a reset,
scared.
but we just decided to keep going.
Yeah, I just
this
decided to roll
this is
with
what
it.
happened, and
Because I'm going to bed after I'm done with the run here, so it's almost midnight.
yeah, it is coming up on midnight for me, so.
Yeah, oddly enough, the trolls in this area are not the worst enemies to run into, because the trolls can't really do anything to the main character. Nor can the clouds. It's just those little imp dudes that are annoying because they have a chance to lick you. I'm not at... There we go. If you're on 1 HP, the poison doesn't do anything, but if you're above 1 HP, it'll reduce you to 1 HP. Eventually. It's like poison on Pokemon. Every so many steps, you take a hit of poison damage. A lot of RPGs actually use the similar poison mechanic. It wasn't original to Pokemon. I believe Pokemon actually adapted it from other JRPGs at the time. It was just like a standard.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Very curious what the first JRPG to actually use the poison tick mechanic was that everybody copied it.
Oh. No, Google knows.
Google probably knows, yeah.
Google knows all.
And now the Google AI knows all, except a lot of times it's wrong.
Yeah, but except it's right sometimes.
It's surprisingly right a decent amount of the time. I want to say it's like 70-30 on mostly accurate information that I've received from it so far.
That's still pretty impressive.
The 30% is it'll either add random information that it doesn't really make sense, or it'll just be outright wrong. Or another issue with the AI is it'll have some things that are correct, and then it'll have some things that are completely wrong, and it'll mash the two together. And the things I found Google AI is mostly wrong on is just topics that are not searched very often.
Yeah.
Like niche things that only specific communities care about, like certain like MMORPGs that have really small player bases nowadays.
Wait.
So here we're picking up a new weapon, the Thunderbolt Blade. It is slightly better than our current weapon, the Orochi's Sword. We'll pretty much be using all physical damage moves or abilities for the rest of the run, as if we weren't already. And the main go-to from here on out is going to be Lightning Slash, with the exception of a couple bosses that will use Falcon Slash towards the end of the game. Now, something nice, the older versions of the game, if you ran solo hero, Paralyze was an insta-kill. Thankfully, this game doesn't have that issue, and there's the spiked armor, which does the reflect damage that I was mentioning. This is the first set of it you can get. I keep forgetting something. If I menu fast enough, and I just tap buttons instead of holding W there, it is slightly faster to run away. It's just that I'm tired and I don't care to do the click, tap A repeatedly but method. Like, if I do that, that's faster than holding W.
Lazy gamer, I can totally relate to that.
I still got world record with it.
I'm tired and I don't care.
I still got world record by the holding W method. It is like fractions of a second of time save. I'm also just completely used to the whole W method because it's easier on my hands. Oh, I'm so tempted to attack the metables. They give so much XP, but they always run away. They have 6 health, and I have really low luck, so my crit rate is trash. Now, I was trying to route a 100% of this game, which of course you'd have to use actual party members for. Metables are one of the key factors into that run. And also, the route kept getting more and more complex as the regular any percent developed, to the point that it's like, okay, how the hell would I do this? Because the newest any percent route uses the Thief class to get a move called Persecutor, which deals 6 times damage to sleeping or, I believe, paralyzed enemies. They also utilize a swap into the Merchant class for a buff that doubles your attack. And also it stacks with the Oomph Powder, which doubles your attack. So it goes Merchant's Muster Strength plus Oomph Powder plus 6 times Persecutor damage equals insane amounts of damage. And they use this for over half the bosses. And I had to incorporate that strategy into the 100% for the bosses. And I'd basically be running most of any percent up until the Dark World, in which case I'd be changing from that strategy to a entirely different strategy where it's basically just go level up everybody a bunch of times, get a specific set of things, and it would just take forever to do.
Yeah, that sounds kind of sounds like a Nemesis run in Final Fantasy X, where you play the game up to a certain point, and then you start doing some capturing, and then you come back, and then you do some arena stuff, and then you go back and you do more story stuff, and then you end up
So in that case, it's literally go capture or get a certain amount of levels. You need to unlock every spell and ability in the game, so you have to swap your characters from class to class until you get all of them. So I had to plan out specifically all the classes I need to swap to for their spells and abilities, and what ones I need to end on. So the post game has this thing called the Temple of Trials, and you're only able to use certain weapons in certain areas. There's 2 areas. One's limited to one set of weapons, one's limited to a different set of weapons. And I wanted, if you don't use the weapon, everybody gets a massive debuff that is not using the right weapon. So I was gonna use 4 classes that can use the weapons in both sections. And we have made it here to the shrine. Now we have the silver orb. Whoa, that was a gold split. I saved the whole 7 seconds.
Oh.
And now we're heading to Lanson. We're going to the Outback.
I guess at this point we take what we can get, I guess.
Also, the guy in there that gave me the silver orb, there's a princess standing outside. It doesn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure they are the king and princess from the castle north of that shrine. That castle, Baramos, the demon lord, took over. Also, we now have a use for holy protection. We are high enough level to avoid encounters through here. So this is Gaia's Navel. It has 2 uses that are important. One is the first visit, which is going to be the blue orb in the boss fight. And then the second visit is for an item called the Zenithium ore. But that second visit has been cut from every single speedrun of this game, with the exception of it'll eventually be needed if somebody makes 100%. Yeah, by that I mean if I ever decide to run 100%.
The one person that took the time to figure all this stuff out and decides to actually do it.
The one person
it'll be there when I need it. Yeah.
Now I'd also have to convince the speedrun mod and Dragon Quest Discord mod to allow the category on speedrun.com.
You need 2 runners. You need 2 runners for a category.
I need a second runner to compete with me on it and race with me.
Oh, what a nightmare.
It's like, I'll give you the plan, I'll give you the route, you just have to figure it out from there and race me.
Who's with me? Show of hands.
So, yeah, other than that, it's just gonna be a casual thing. And this is the boss for Blue Orb. This is a newer boss. This is the Chiromancer. I forgot to equip the Thunder Sword. So it won't really make much of a difference. This guy is pathetically weak. So first, we're gonna kill his little buddy, the Mad Vlad, who thankfully didn't lick us. And we're gonna hope he doesn't use the Zing spell to bring it back. And that's Chiromancer.
Easy peasy.
And I'll grab this item. That was also a gold split. And now we're gonna head to Dina, or no. I went to the wrong spot.
The rally is on.
Well, I'm just gonna do this anyways. But I went to the wrong spot. I'm supposed to go here after I get all the orbs and then head this way. I still have 2 orbs left to get, but I'm just gonna get this zoom point since I already zoomed here. No, if Holy Protection is helping me right now or not. I think it is. I think I actually have a high enough level to avoid most of the ocean. With the exception of the area around this place. This is what I like to call deep water. Ice water area. There's a higher level gap here. I don't know exactly what it is. Thankfully I didn't get any encounters. So this is the Shrine of the Everbird. This is where you take the orbs when you're done collecting them. Now, what I meant to go to is the Wayfarer's Inn. And we're gonna go ahead and set it to nighttime. Because the next spot we need to go to needs it to be nighttime to get the green orb and fight the boss there, which is one of the new bosses to this game. So we're going to take the teleport here. This puts us basically on the other side of the world, south of Portuga. Oh, and then I need to zoom to here to get the ship to spawn over here. And we're gonna take the ship southeast from here to the town of the Dawn. It used to be called Dracky, but in this version it's the Dawn. It is a town cursed by the Demon Lord. At daytime, they're all just dead people. At nighttime, they're alive, quote unquote, but in this version, instead of actually being alive, they've changed them to spirits. Their spirits come out at night. Grab this for money. Ultimate key. I forgot the once again. Well. And we're gonna lightning slash. Should one-shot the phantasms. I don't believe the Thunder Sword's damage will help until we actually fight Baros. So these guys should always take 1 hit on the Phantoms and 2 hits on the Dying Fires. And sadly they do have a chance to paralyze on attack. And I believe the Dying Fires can put you to sleep if your Ortega helmet plus your luck stat does not give you sleep immunity. Which happens only if your luck is too low. Which my luck is too low, unfortunately. Now this fight is a lot different in the normal percent of solo hero. Basically all you do is use 2 Kazaps and everything should die, which is a really, really powerful spell. Though they might have changed it. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the newest, the newer world record for this. Okay, so I can't be paralyzed anymore. These guys should just start spamming whack for the most part. Also, in any difficulty other than Dracky, these will summon extra or extra ones. So you can have up to 5 phantasms or 5 dying fires in the same fight, and they'll just keep summoning infinitely. Thankfully, Dracky quests, they don't summon at all. Well, what can go wrong will go wrong. Okay. Dying fire's down.
Alright, my goodness.
Marathon.
This is, some days you're the
Murphy-
bug and some
Murphy-
days you're the
Murphy
windshield, but
on
my
luck.
goodness.
Okay, that's green orb. And now, we have to do an escort quest. By escort quest, I mean we do have to pick up and recruit an actual character that isn't our hero. But all we're doing is taking them to the new town. They're going to develop a town for us. We're not fighting with them, we're not doing anything else with them, they're just existing. We just mash through that. We're gonna zoom to... I'm just gonna go to Skyfell. I can't remember what the fastest path here. It's either Teleportal Shrine or Skyfell. We're gonna put on Holy Protection and travel across the ocean to the New World, which is basically the representations of Americas. Now, for some reason, there's just a lot of waterways in the central area, and the mainland is blocked by this giant freaking mountain for some reason. It's a very, very distorted map. I went too far north. Yeah, just giant mountain right here. We're heading in here. Do question mark, question mark, question mark. And this is going to develop into a town, which will be named after a character, so it's going to be Aberg. And to trigger the progression, I'm going to teleport back and forth from here to whatever area. I use Aliahan. And it has specific points in the game that allow it to progress. So 1, just go anywhere after dropping them off. 2, I think a certain amount of orbs. I know Boss Troll and Orochi are also triggers for another stage. And it keeps progressing each time you come back. So now the theater is being developed. When we come back again, the theater will be completed and we'll have to do a cutscene. And then when we come back again, the character A will have been thrown in jail. To save a little bit of time, we'll leave and enter from the bottom, which puts us closer to the cutscene trigger. Doesn't matter if it's day or night either. These guys are always here plotting against A. Basically, he's become the governor of this town. And, good town developer, bad governor. They literally perform a coup and throw him in jail. Or her if you make it a female version. Again, going through the bottom, and now we head to the jail. and they tell you they had a thing for you, and we're to go check behind the throne. Here's a whole flashback of them storming the governor's house and throwing and just going to sit there and repent. And there's one more stage of town development after this that we won't get to see. Later in the game, I think, like, you can re-recruit the merchant to your party. But here's the yellow orb. Also, those chests normally aren't looted, but if you come here after the one transition, they become looted. So now we're going Shrine of the Everbird. We're gonna go turn on the orbs and get the Everbird, known as Ramia. Each orb has its own pedestal here. So unfortunately, this game does not have an orb duping glitch, which would let you bypass the merchant quest. The Game Boy Color version as well, I don't believe has an orb duping ability. But the old versions, like Dragon Warrior 3 for the NES or SNES, one of them has an orb duping glitch. Long. And now we have a bird. We're gonna immediately land with the bird. We're gonna teleport outside the Shrine of the Plains. And we're gonna go hit a bird-only secret spot, also known as Slime Mountain, because it spawns a bunch of different types of slimes. And we're gonna get a very important luck boosting item here called the Elevating Shoes. Okay, Elevating Shoes. They also, you get 1 XP per step. I'm gonna fix my gear real quick. The spiked armor now. Throw everything else in the bag. Throw out of powders. I need to go to Lanson and buy some more powders. I probably have enough for Baramos, but I'm just gonna buy them just in case. So hopefully be our last stop at the shops too. So we're gonna buy enough oomph powders for Baramos and the final bosses that we face later on in the run. Yeah, 75 oomph powders will be. Now, there is another thing we do need to buy later, but we should be good. There's other items we get to sell, or to pick up to sell. And now we head in the Baramos's lair. Literally just a town castle thing that's been taken. And it's very, very maze-like. Thankfully, I already know the path and haven't.
We're speedrunners. We know exactly where we're going.
Thankfully, the spiked armor goes off of the damage that you're supposed to take, not the actual damage you take. So even at 1 HP, you'll still reflect the same amount as you would if you were full HP. Which is really nice. And enjoy the spooky music as we run from encounters and just rush to the boss. Honestly, this music makes me think of like weird, like dark scenes in Disney movies. Like the hunter sneaking up on Snow White or something random like that.
Right. It's like the movie Casper or something like that.
Older Disney movie where they still love to use orchestras and not have a bunch of spontaneous singing out of nowhere.
I mean, Dragon Quest music is just really, really good, just all around.
Definitely. Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy both. Enix and Squaresoft made really good games with really good soundtracks, and combining them, they worked really well with each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
They've gone downhill within the past, like, 5 years-ish. Not the same as they used to be. I don't know where they're trying to take their company. I'd really love to know.
Yeah.
Like, what's the plan after Final Fantasy 16? What happened to you guys? No, this remake's been really good for the most part. I did find some typos they never patched out, but it's really good. And there's going to be a Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. So, like, they're doing fine with the remakes.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking with a lot of 15 and 16.
Yeah, well...
14's doing well for them, though.
14 is doing well. I, unfortunately, am one of those poor souls who thinks 15 and 16 are great video games.
Like, I really enjoyed 15 playing it. My problem with 16 is it was a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, and like
Guess
I
who
said,
doesn't own a PS5?
Yeah,
And
like
then
I
they
said,
put it on PC, and I still haven't gotten it.
Yep. Yeah, because it's only been out on PC since like September, so it's still a lot of people still like haven't played it, and it was like the reason it was the reason I got a PS5 was 416, and I just really wanted to play it when it got released, and I had a good time with it. It was a really good story, and the music is really, I think it's underrated because just a lot of people haven't heard it yet.
Alright, here is Baramos. So, boss fight time.
Okay.
All set up, ready to go. And essentially, we're just gonna be oomph powdering and lightning slashing. It is pretty much the bread and butter of the most of the bosses in this game. I thought he was maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering. It might not be lightning slash. I'm gonna try the other elements. It's gust slash. Okay, I misremembered Baramos. It's the later forms that lightning slash is the one to go to. Baramos and Garboil weak to wind. It has been a while since I've done a full run of this. And it's showing. They have been fuddled. We are immune to Dazzle, though, with the elevating shoes, so thankfully
I mean,
our luck stat is now high enough to be immune to Dazzle and also immune to Sleep. If with the Ortega helm, if we have enough luck to be immune to one, we are also immune to the other. They have the same range.
I mean, like
for,
you haven't,
luck
I mean, like you haven't been hit
and
enough by
helmet.
that tonight, you know.
And something else, Baramos has regen in the any difficult that isn't, or any difficulty that isn't Dracky. Is a much harder fight in those because you also have to heal so you don't die. And you have to plan out the fight. Like, there's an accessory that reduces fire damage called the asbestos earring, so you need 1 or 2 of those, and it helps a lot. And that's Baramos. That is the Light World complete.
GG's.
He is the fake final boss, as we'll find out who the real boss is soon enough. Or maybe we won't, because you can just skip the cutscene. But the real final boss is a demon lord named Zoma, and it turns out Baramos was just one of his underlings. Even though all these celebrations are going on, about to find out some grim news. And Zoma's just gonna come in, storm the place, kill a bunch of guards, laugh at us, and then fucking leave. He's
Rude.
kind of a jerk.
Rude. Wow.
Then I get a shiny new bastard sword for beating Baramos by myself. I could just let this play out so you can at least see what he looks like. Get a nice little fanfare here. Except that it's gonna get interrupted in 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh.
Zap. No, not yet. Freeze. Oh, in the other versions it's lightning. I never actually watched the cutscene. This one he freezes them to death.
Learning all sorts of cool things tonight.
This is Zoma. I guess you just see the shadow of him here.
I must apologize for intruding on such a heartwarming.
He's a wicked voice actor.
That is, yeah.
I am Zoma, master of.
So I think that's about all you get to see of him in this cutscene, so I'm just gonna skip ahead now. Yeah, it's our task to go defeat him, but now we have some more cutscenes to go through. And this opens up the castle of the Dragon Queen. We'll have to go and get the light orb from there, which will basically be used to get into the Dark World. It used to be an optional item in the older versions, as you can technically beat Zoma without using it. I don't think you can with the solo hero. To Olivia's Promontory. Closest zoom point we have. But in this version, it's actually required pickup to get into the Dark World. So to make things more linear and less open world, they kind of just locked everything and say, hey, you have to complete this event to go to the next area. And somebody had developed a randomizer for this, so I actually got to test what events lock which areas. So, like, even if you start with the ultimate key, there's a spell called Unlock that the wizard can get, or mage in this game, and it lets you unlock any type of door, but you could use the bypass areas without the ultimate key, which would work for a low percent if the stuff wasn't locked behind significant events. So, in order to get to Portoga, you have to beat Kandar 1, or Robin Hood 1, and have the magic key. Because they won't let you go through otherwise. And then to get to the Minosa region, you have to have the ship.
When faced with forces,
Or you can't get through any of the the jail cell doors that would lead you there. And it's a very funny. They locked all these behind significant events that you actually can't progress even if you get the unlock spell, which you can technically get at the beginning of the game just by constantly leveling. Like, there is a jail cell door that locks a teleport at the beginning of the game. And unless you've completed the events that says, hey, you should be able to get the ultimate key here, you're not allowed to go through those portals because there'll be a guard or something blocking the way.
Just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, somebody took their time and basically blocked out all, like, non-linear progression for whatever reason that they didn't do in the original versions. So, like, if I wanted to level to the 30s on just the weakest monsters in the game, get the unlock spell and go travel the world without a ship, without anything, I could do so in the earlier, or the other versions of the game, for like the Game Boy Color, for example. This version said no. And I don't know why.
It's like they knew speedrunners were gonna try to break it, and we're like, "No, you're not. Watch this."
Yeah, that or they knew somebody was gonna make a randomizer.
They put a child lock on it.
They put a child lock on everything. I mean, speedrunners found different ways to break the game. It's just they broke the combat rather than the.
It's not optimal compared to the other versions. But yeah.
So now we're in the Dark World. This is Tantegel. We're here to pick up a single item and then we're leaving. We're grabbing an item called the Sunstone. We have to go through a forced cutscene, but we can skip most of it. These guys rush into the king, tells you a bunch of backstory. Doesn't really matter. Oh no, their treasury's been completely looted. So like the hero's armor and other stuff used to be kept here, but they were scattered to the far winds. Taken and thrown other places. The shield's in the North Cave. The sword got broken and you have to get it repaired. The light armor is in the Tower of Rubus. There's the Sunstone. Go ahead and evac. Northwest. Also, we are not anywhere close to high enough level to holy protection anywhere through the Dark World, as the Dark World overworld actually pretty sure has a higher level to holy protect than Zoma's Citadel, oddly enough, which is like the final main dungeon. Zoma's Citadel takes like level 54 or something, and the overworld just I don't know what level it takes. It's just really freaking high. We're never gonna get anywhere close to that level in this run, so we're just gonna constantly look for enemies. next up, we're gonna stop in this cave. This is North Cave over here. It got renamed to Talontair Tunnel in this version of the game, this remake, which is a pretty cool name. And it negates all magic used inside of it, and at the bottom of it, it has the hero shield. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use it for a zoom point. And zooming here will set the ship on the north bank up there. You can see it in the distance. And this is basically just a shortcut to get to the northeast of the Dark World. Also, this island up here would be very important for 100%. This is so there was Slime Mountain back in the Light World. This is Slime Island, and it has even more things. There's a fight here that you can get 8 metabels in it. 8 of them. And it's crucial to doing a 100% run, because that's our way of leveling. The only other way to get 8 metabels in a fight is a rare encounter in the post-game world. And there's a spawn, I think, with like 4 of them in another section of the Dark World. So that is the fastest leveling spot. You can either use, there's a spell that lets a character become a dragon and use Flame Breath, which pretty much insta-kills all of them. I think it still works in this game. Or you can use Assassin's Hit with Thief, which has a chance to insta-kill them. There's a bunch of different ways to try and kill them. This is the Tower of Rubus. I'm gonna just get the zoom point for now. We still have some other stuff to pick up before we come here. Then we're gonna head over to this continent. And we're gonna go to the town of Cole. Spelled K-O-L. Just gonna keep running from every enemy encounter. And we're here for 2 reasons. One, the weapon we're going to use for the rest of the game is here. And 2, we need the fairy flute for the Tower of Rubus. We're going to come in this way. Go in this building. Go up here. This guy wants us to get his hammer. And he is a swordsmith from Japan. He fled here with a girl when Orochi took over to avoid her from being sacrificed. Don't know how he ended up here, but he ended up here. Now we're basically just go to Japan. And here is the hammer that got. We're also gonna pick up a seed in this pot here. Then we go back into coal. We're gonna use a different entrance this time. Main entrance. We're gonna go up this way and around. We'll hit the pixie or fairy flute here. It used to be called the pixie. And we're gonna leave using this entrance. But it'll put us right back at this entrance. So, back in this spot. And go upstairs and give him the hammer. And this will let him sell the Falcon Sword, which will be our weapon for the rest of the game. We'll go ahead and sell the Thunderbolt Blade, the Bastard Sword, and I did make a mistake with money. I need a lot. I did forget. What did I forget? Well, I know where I can get most of the money from. Either I bought too many oomph powders or I didn't pick up. Wrong place. I am having memory trouble right now. I can get some money quick to get in for the sword. I think I just bought too many oomph powders is all. I'm just trying to think of the fastest backup strat here. Oh, wrong one. This one? There it is. Elven Elixir 1. And I need to go to... Oh, I remember now. Summer. And another item. So 20. Oh, Elixir 2. So, mistakes were made. Didn't have the money. Had to waste some time here.
I hate that when you just do something over and over and over again and you've done it and then you just decide to forget. What was I doing?
Yeah, it's like maybe I should have done another D-Rust.
I can remember. No, I'll remember it. It's fine. I've done this plenty of times.
That was plenty of money. That Staff of Resurrection was worth a lot more than I thought it was.
Back on track.
Alright. So now we got that. We got the flute. Now we can go to the tower. And they added a boss fight to the top of the tower here. It didn't used to be a boss fight here, but now the god fairy elemental creature Rubis, who's been frozen in stone, is guarded by a boss. It's annoying. Not too difficult of a boss, but does have the ability to paralyze you and does do some annoying things. You've also seen this boss already, or at least most of this boss. We'll show him off here soon. It's just gonna take a little while to climb the whole tower. Now, the reason we wanted the Falcon Sword, it was an increase in damage, but the Falcon Sword has a special ability that whenever you use an attack, it'll use it twice. So regular attacks, you'll attack twice. Falcon Slash, you'll attack 4 times. Lightning Flame and Gust Slash, you'll attack twice. And this is pretty much the same for every ability. I didn't mean here. God, it has been so long since I played a run to this point. Also, the normal run wants to come up here to get the light armor, but we have no use for it. All we need is the spiked armor. Actually, I'm not sure if the normal run even still uses the light armor. Also curious if they even pick up the hero shield anymore. Because the hero shield is a funny thing. It's been in and out of the normal solo hero runs so many times. Like, I kept it in, and then somebody, Arrow of Ruto, not sure if you've heard of them, cut it out of the run, and then they realized there was a better way to grind, and they put it back into the run because we used that cave to grind in the run. And then somebody else took the record, and I haven't looked at the run since that record came out. I haven't looked at that record. So I'm not entirely sure what to do. Also, yes, we did have to jump off the tower to climb back up the backside of the tower. Wise.
Makes sense.
No proper back entrance. I'm getting very close to that being 20 minutes behind, by the way. We're currently 17 minutes behind estimate.
Oh.
Or, not behind estimate, behind PB. 17 and a half minutes.
Oh, yeah, this has been one to forget, huh?
Well, this run used to take like 4 hours. It's been significantly cut down on. It went from 4 hours to like 3.5 to 3 to sub 3 to freaking 2:39:11.
It just goes to show you, like JRPG speedruns. It's sometimes it really just is out of your control. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you just get unlucky, and it's not your fault.
All right, and we're here. Just a quick. It's Rubus, frozen in stone, and he is bigger. He's better.
Oh,
It's
this dude.
Obama.
Oh, yeah, I remember this dude.
So we're gonna powder. So Ramos has been revived in a sense. This is his soul. So Ramos is dead, but Zoma summoned his soul back. And his bones. His bones are in the castle. This is an astral projection of his soul, or like Zoma sent it here to guard Rubus. So we get to fight him twice. This is Soul 1 and Soul 2's in the castle, or the Citadel. Basically, what we're hoping for here is that 1, we don't get paralyzed, and 2, we don't get affected by the roars and get feared.
Ready now.
Yo, main stun, welcome in.
Man,
Catch the back half of the run.
we are
Back like 30 minutes of the run. I'm almost 20 minutes behind PB, which is close to exact 3-hour estimate.
It's been a run, needless to say.
It's been a very rough run. There's a paralyzed, but he killed himself. That's a funny one. Gotta love spiked armor.
Okay.
I can't remember if these guys are weak to lightning or not. They are.
Mark, my hair needs to be back.
Yeah, I got it. No problem. Grams here right on the charger.
This is the
There we
last
go.
one. Yeah, we saved the worst we saved the worst RNG for the last one. of the
Yeah, the
night
worst
sometime.
RNG.
Makes sense.
Really? That's just still. There we go. That is Ash Demons and Solar Brahma, or Ash Blossom, and I make it bad that Yu-Gi-Oh! Comparing it to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. We're now 21 minutes behind PB. So we're might be going a little overestimate here.
This is fine. This is fine.
Just a little bit. It's the last run of the night. It's fine,
But
right?
Taxix decided to go straight evil with RNG on you. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
this RNG was so bad that I was looking for the raid target. I was like, you know who would appreciate bad RNG? Main stun. Totally get that.
Alright, so Rubus is freed. We got the crest, which we're gonna go ahead and equip. Or Sacred Armlet is now what it's called. It used to be called the crest. It is a luck boosting item. It's a very nice luck boost.
I don't need sleep. I threw my sleep
we
schedule out
should
the
now
window.
have enough luck to prevent Dazzle and there's another move that the King Hydra, one of the final bosses in the boss gauntlet, will use. It's one of the breath, Sweet Breath, that would normally put your character to sleep. We should be immune to Sweet Breath now, which speeds up the final boss gauntlet. So the Ortega Helm, combined with the luck boosting accessories, grants you that immunity, which makes fights so much easier. So now we're just gonna be boating for a little bit to get down to Rubus's attendant, also the fairy that does the personality quiz with you. And she apologizes for the personality quiz for what she was saying to you. I mean, depending on your personality, she can literally just be calling you lewd. Because there's a lewd / sexy personality you can get, which was
Wow.
previously used for this run and is currently used for the normal N%.
Imagine failing a
Solo
personality
hero.
test. Like, wow.
Well, you don't really fail the personality test. It's just there's a bunch of different ones you can get depending on your action and your answers. Okay, so that Merkin just proved my point. I am immune to Dazzle right now. Meaning I am also immune to sleep.
Yes, main stun, you literally have no personality. You are...
Stop wasting time. Tired of encounters. Da, 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 da. I like moving the ship with the beat. Oh, we're here. Slimes. Hello, fairy. Goodbye, fairy. Hello, fairy with cutscene. Thanks for the staff. Goodbye, fairy of which I've seen. Here's your folio. Hello, fairy with cuts. Goodbye, fairy. I gotta go over to this spot. So that sunstone we picked up earlier, the crust or the sacred armlet we got from Rubus, that staff of rain, has all come together to make a very, very important item. This magical rainbow drop. And this will be used to create a rainbow bridge to get across the cape leading to Zoma's castle. You just seen the little... Oh no, I forgot to stop in at Quagmire Cave for the fast teleport. Oh well. I guess we'll go from the tower. That's not much of a time difference. I'm wondering if this might be faster. I'm gonna get an extra to do it this way. I don't know, I'd have to test that. This is one of the paths I haven't tested yet. Alright. We have made it to the cape. We have our final gear. We have all the oomph powders we will ever need. Let's make a rainbow bridge. You know, I wish somebody could find a game-breaking glitch where you could take the ship and find like a land point, kind of like how Golden Sun has a game-breaking glitch, where you can use the ship to land in like the original area and visit a bunch of places. Wish somebody could find a way to glitch onto this island. It would save an insane amount of time. You wouldn't have to do Solar Baramos 1. You wouldn't have to go get all the items. You'd just go straight to the final boss's citadel.
I think they call that Alt F4 and just close the game out. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I've tried looking around this island a few times, looking for a spot you can sneak the ship on, but I haven't found one. I don't think I ever will. I think they made it, like, really secure. But you never know, maybe somebody will find something. This is Zoma's Citadel. Imagine a game that functions as intended. This game does so for the most part. It has a typo though. I don't remember if Garboil did it, but if they do like the focus thing where they boost up their power or magic power, it actually says Fauces rather than Focuses. They forgot the C. Zoma does it too, so if Zoma does it, I'll be able to show you guys.
I don't know if this game, I don't know, the RNG in this game seems a little busted. That seems to be malfunctioning.
At least today it is.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's a boss fight. You have to fight 6 golems, each in a pair, back to back to back. Which they changed this from the OG game. Normally, you'd face them just one pair, kill them, they'd break. Kill another pair, they'd break. I'm gonna try the powder.
Ready now.
I don't think these guys are. That felt like an okay Guardians fight. Usually take roughly the same amount of time. Now they're shattered pieces of rubble and dust. Sadly, we can't hear the floor because I'm out of HP. I like the zap floor noise. And now staircase to hell. At least it looks. And now a floor puzzle. Funny thing though, I found out. Whichever way blue is facing, if you tap in that direction, it'll go up. So yeah, if you tap in the direction of blue, you go up. You tap in the direction of red or orange or whatever it is, you go down. Don't ask me about left and right.
Up and down works just fine.
I usually get left and right mixed up. Accident. I think up is left, down is right. And then if it flip-flops, it's the opposite. One of them, it rotates your arrow keys counterclockwise. One of them, it rotates it clockwise. I'm pretty sure is how it works. Oh, that was a nice RNG. An enemy that was stunned, which is a free runaway. So those Guardians were a pseudo boss fight or a mini boss fight. Basically, those are normal enemies that just stack up in a row. And next up are some more normal enemies that stack up, and these ones are just in a straight row. There's a bunch of them. zombie ended itself. Good. Sadly, the frantic ore didn't attack, so... Okay, King Hydra, and oh no, look, it's our father, and he's dead.
Oh no.
There is an extra cutscene if you have all the heroes gear now, though, which is pretty cool. You actually get to tell him who you are before he dies. Thankfully, the post-game, there's a god dragon, literally called Divinagon. And he grants wishes if you beat him within a certain amount of turns of him. And you can revive your father. Literally a god dragon that can bring people back to life, imagine.
Well, that's really nice of him to do that. That's cool.
Then there's the secret boss, the Grand Dragon, who's at the end of the Tower of Trial. Or Temple of Trials. Which they changed. It used to be what's called the Ice Dungeon in the Game Boy Color version, which was locked behind monster medals, a unique mechanic to the Game Boy Color version. You had to collect like one of every silver medal to access Grand Dragon. And if you wanted 100%, you need all the gold medals, which was a pain in the butt to do. But they removed those, they removed the Ice Dungeon, they added the Temple of Trials, and a bunch of bosses. And something that really disappointed me, there used to be a game called Pachisi. It was a roll of the dice RNG game. It was really fun, it was really obnoxious, but I loved it, and I miss it. I miss it dearly.
I am that old to remember that game.
And it's not like the actual Pachisi, it's just the game they called it Pachisi. So this is King Hydra. This is the first of the 4 of the final gauntlet. We're going to Oomph Powder and just keep Falcon Slashing. We are immune to sleep, so this is very simple. Ooh, nice crit. King Hydra has no debuffs. It just has a chance when it uses a shout to stop us for a turn. And since we're immune to sleep breath, we can't get put to sleep, which is great. So we're just hoping for good RNG that it does normal attacks, and we want full turn Oomph Powders, and hopefully some crits in here. We were 21 minutes, 46 seconds behind PB coming in here. See how much time we can make up, but we're only gonna go over estimate by like a couple minutes.
That's still, I mean...
The way things are going.
Yeah. You had to do some extra farming to get some items, to get some monies, and I know that had something to do with it.
Had some bad RNG here and there.
I mean, some bad RNG? My goodness gracious.
A lot of bad RNG.
You are not giving yourself enough credit.
The gargoyle fight was a literal 4-minute time loss.
I could just see the disdain on your face the entire time. What do I do?
Yeah, gargoyle was so bad. I was getting nickeled and dimed up until that point, but gargoyle was just a nightmare. And that's King Hydra.
GG.
We're just gonna put more Oomph Powders in our inventory and continue. So he's bigger, he's badder, he's too much for Mr. Incredible. It's Solabramos 2.
Oh no.
How many times are we gonna fight this guy?
Wow. It's like Final Fantasy X with like 4 Seymour fights.
I know, right? This guy just won't die. And even when he's dead, he gets brought back to life by the final boss.
I think he's dead this time. I think this is the last fight.
So this is the last time we see Solabramos, but now we get to fight his frickin' bones right after this. Thankfully his bones are the easiest fight in Dracky. Hardest fight in the game in the normal difficulty, easiest fight in the game in the Dracky difficulty. And you want to know the main reason why he's so hard? The remake in the normal difficulty gave him regen.
Why?
And it's not like some low amount of regen. No, it's 300 to 400 health a turn.
That doesn't even...
Every turn.
That doesn't even sound fair.
Exactly. We had to find a strategy to either you have to burn out all his MP and slow roll him while healing, which was a pain in the butt, and you had to level into the 50s. And in order to cut down on that, we had to find a faster strat. So now we can kill him in the level 40s, and we use, we still have to burn out his MP, and then it's just a dice roll of, can you dodge enough attacks, or have him, you know, miss, or use abilities or whatever, enough that you can oomph powder lightning slash him to death before he kills you.
Because this game has shown that it's just full of good luck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine you're on PB world record pace. You're getting through here, Solo Baramos is done. Like, you're like 5 minutes ahead or something. You're big ahead. And then you face this upcoming boss in the normal difficulty route. Like, I don't have armor on, but watch how hard he hits. He does basically the same damage in the normal difficulty. He actually is doing less to me here than he does in the normal game because I'm on an easier difficulty, even though I don't really have armor on. He just hits really freaking hard. And because he hits so hard, and he doesn't really have anything other than attacks, it makes it easy in Dracky, because, like, I can't die.
Yeah.
So, easiest boss in the game here,
Dunzo.
hardest boss in any other difficulty. We're almost about 23 minutes behind PB at the moment, and we're going into the final boss now. So, you don't actually need the Spear of Light in your inventory, but it does make it here. So set up my inventory properly, and here's Zoma, and this is what he actually looks like. And there's this dark aura, which we can get rid of. And then the real boss fight starts and the music kicks in. And like the other bosses, for the most part, he's weak to Lightning Slash, except he can remove your buffs, which is annoying. So what we want him to do is just to use regular attacks as much as possible, and to not use the disruption. Like that. So I definitely had some really bad stat rolls because all the other final boss gauntlet has taken me longer to kill. So I'm missing probably a luck stat for the most part, maybe a bit of strength because definitely not doing the damage I should be doing. Nice crit. Spamming the heck out of the buff removal though. It's almost what you get when Hell Freeze is over, because he's gonna cause it. He's actually harder to fight in the regular 80% with a team, because he has Crackle and just constantly AoEs. Thankfully, there is a accessory that reduces ice damage. But, he kind of goes in stages from, like, high health, he'll just spam Crackle and stuff over and over. Then medium health, you seen he put up a bounce. And he starts using Dazzle. And then when he gets a little bit lower, maybe we'll see it soon. Push. Stop moving my buffs.
Here I go.
You know, we might go through that full inventory of powders. There it goes, it's Fousing. If you read it there, it was a typo. It's F-O-U-S-E-S instead of focuses. This is what we want him to do. So when he focuses, or fouses, he starts doing desperate attacks and cold breath. And they hit, and his crackles get buff damage. But we want him to use regular desperate attacks, which he can only use when he's fousing. And that's time.
Alright, jeez.
3 minutes, 35 seconds over estimate.
Yep, I'm gonna 303.
Now, I would like to play out the credits, if you don't mind, but I have to walk out.
I think after how this game has treated you, you've earned the right to do whatever you want for the remainder of the time that we
I
are
really
here.
like the credits song. So yeah, we walk out of here, the Citadel collapsed, and this Palantir tunnel starts collapsing. Hear a rumble. Another rumble. And whoops, it's all gone. Thankfully made it out of there. Thankfully with Zoma gone, all the monsters are also gone. Well, until the story of Dragon Quest 1, it is. Thankfully, the ending music for this game doesn't have a copyright like some of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, I know all about that.
Talking to you, 12 and freaking
15.
forget what other ones.
15. Notorious.
15, yeah. 15's at the start of the freaking game.
I know, I have to actually talk through that entire thing, otherwise my stream gets DMCA'd, so I actually either have to mute the game.
I gotta mute the game, guys.
I gotta mute the best song in the game, or I
out.
gotta talk over it so Twitch doesn't flag me. I was like, come on. Really?
Talking over it sometimes doesn't even work, because you have to be very loud and very consistent. So we warp back to Tentacle. We defeated the Demon Lord. Light has come to the Dark World, and the hole that we came through has completely closed up, and we can't go home. The hero somehow mysteriously disappears after this. I believe the hidden storyline, I don't know where it would say it, but I heard something in 11 says like, oh, the hero got like teleported out of here by Rubus and the fairy. Actual fanfare. And credits start. You can skip all this, but I don't like.
Why would you?
I know, right?
We worked so hard to get to this moment. Like,
yeah, so originally, I thought the category would end at the skip here, because the older versions, you have to actually get to the end here and wait through the cutscene until you reach a sign that says the end. So the SNES version, the Game Boy Color version, the category isn't time when you beat Zoma. No, it's time when you get to the end of the credits. So it went from being forced to watch the credits and listen to the credits, which is okay, but not like for every single run.
That sounds like JP rules. Most JP runs to make you
It
go
was the
and-
JP rules,
why?
and then
Yeah.
they must have realized their mistake because the new JP rules, it ends at Zoma because that's where the game, like, you have nothing left to do after that. It's just leave and watch the credits.
Yeah, because I speedrun JP 10-2 and it's like the last what is 16 minutes and 25 seconds to just
so
waiting
this
out the
game
credits.
is huge in Japan.
I know it is.
Like, there's a ton of Japanese speedrunners, and JPRTA is huge on this game.
Yeah.
Or at least they're huge on the Famicom version. I actually haven't seen that many streamers for this game in a while. Like, this game was really popular when it came out, and popular for like a month or two, which was back in November of last year. And it just fell off hard. Now we're getting into good music. Oh yeah, that was Dragon Quest III HD Remake. Well, 2D HD Remake, or HD 2D Remake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
And
GG's.
that was Dracky difficulty, only hero, any percent.
It was quite mean.
Favorite part of the song. Art Dink. Some very beautiful music here.
Yeah. DQ music is.
Early Cross Inc. with the co-development. I think all these companies did a great job with this game. And at the end of the credits, there's a little spoiler for Dragon Quest 1 and 2, which is pretty cool that they added. Also, somehow Robin Hood ends up in the Dark World. Not sure how. He's looting a cave in that snippet there. Like, you can actually go and find him in the Dark World. I have no idea how a bunch of the Light World people got down there, since we had to jump in a literal giant hole that was covered in darkness to get there. Like, where the heck are these other cracks? Are they just like falling through cracks in the floor like the back rooms? And just ending up in the Dark World?
Well, apparently so.
It's really weird. And there's the golem the kid creates. That's a spoiler thing for Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Or the dad creates for the kid or something. Oh, there's the hero talking to Rubus's attendant, or the servant of Rubus. I believe that's where they would get teleported out from. It's like, you've done your job here, thank you for saving our world, we'll send you back to yours now. I think these pictures are all like the aftermath of the game. They don't really specify, but it looks like the app. There's the king talking with Nordy. They are friends.
Reminds me of 15, where they go through like all the photos Prompto took, and it's just like a like a slideshow. They play the music.
There's Gopal and his wife. I believe that's Japangu. That must be like the next Empress there. or something. This is Minoza, one guy that says you there, gets your attention, and the ghost of the guy whose sword we threw into a volcano. I believe this is Myrrh. Not sure what's going on there. Maybe they're just having dinner. There's the legendary bird and its attendants. It's so cute.
Oh, wow.
There's Mom, sitting alone at a desk in our old room. Burb. That's the Dragon Queen's castle. This should be the end of the credits, because this is where the important part is. Here's a little spoiler thingy. So if you know, you know.
Your Majesty, fear not, for I will see that thine offspring grows into a fine leader of the land. I promise, nay, I swear, upon my name, the name of Hargon.
So, spoiler alert, if you don't know, he is the final boss of Dragon Quest II, and he raises the Dragon Lord, who is the final boss of Dragon Quest I. I will also be speedrunning those in the future, and I'm really looking forward to those. I'm not sure when the release date is. But I will definitely be speedrunning the HD remakes of those in the future, and maybe at a different different critical hit event when they come out.
Absolutely, man. This was a very entertaining run. I'll be diving into Dragon Quest myself, albeit like the later version. I'll be eventually getting around the DQ11.
In comparison, same level as my other run, but you can see the difference here. This was my PB run.
Yeah, so things went wrong. I mean, weren't necessarily your fault.
And if you want to see a fully decked out character from a randomizer,
Sure, why not?
this is my randomizer character, who has been super leveled up, and I have multiple copies of the final weapon you get, the Rubus sword. Everybody has a Rubus sword, and I use this thing for playtesting so many different things and strategies that I've been preparing for 100%, that I have multiple copies of items you're only supposed to get one of.
Nice.
And I've just been using them for damage testing, boss testing, you name it. I've been testing stuff. And that's pretty much it, unless somebody wants to see me go run the monster arena.
I mean, I've got to get some sleep at some point.
That would have been an incentive otherwise.
Oh.
Alright. So anyways, that's it. I hope everybody has a good night.
Oh, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for that.
No problem. I had fun, even though the RNG was brutally beating me with a club.
It wasn't even that. I mean, not only that, you commentated your own misery, which was even more impressive than, you multitasked. You did the run and commentated on top of it. And
oh yeah, I'm really good at commentating and explaining runs. Like, that's no problem at all. I kind of That's what I hope runners that don't have commentators are able to do, or at least try to do, and keep focus. It is a little difficult, and I do get a little distracted. But yeah, I'm happy to explain the run, and if anybody needs the route or information and wants to try running this game, just reach out to me on Discord. I'm always free to chat, unless I'm sleeping.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're all in the Critical Hit Discord, so yeah, we always talk to each other and always, yes, absolutely. So
that's it for me. Should I just go ahead and hit stop streaming?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll just transition it over to the words things. I'm going to say a few quick words before we're probably going to read out to somebody. So yes, good night, and thank you, Marz. Appreciate you.